Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the T95E6. This is an American Tier 10 collector heavy, and it's one that I've spoken highly of over the past, I would say, year and a half now. Basically, Wargaming buffed it a while back and turned it into the speedy, high damage per minute demon that it currently plays like. And it just keeps getting buffed and buffed and buffed. And I gotta be honest, in the latest update, it may have gotten the biggest buff yet. You see, Wargaming gave this vehicle enhanced graphics, which we can currently see. And normally, when Wargaming gives tanks better graphics, they don't really change the armor profile. But in the case of the T95E6, well, they did a lot. This is what the vehicle looks like on flat ground with AP ammunition. Now, you'll already notice two pieces of armor are quite a bit stronger. The turret previously would have been a lot easier to pen. The cheeks on the side of the turret are much thicker, especially on this side here. Certain spots are over 300 millimeters thick. And it gets even better. Look at the hatch. Yes, you're reading that right. The hatch is now 283 millimeters thick on the vehicle. The only weak spot on the hatch is this little position right in the center, meaning that if you want to even have a chance of cutting through the hatch now, you're going to have to load gold. And using gun depression against a tank not running calibrated, this hatch is upwards of 340 mils thick. Meaning that, yeah, you will literally get bounces now against mediums that are even loading gold on the hatch of this tank. It didn't used to be this strong. Previously, you could pen this hatch with AP ammo. But yeah, it's been quite heavily changed. And look at the turret armor. It did not used to be this strong either. There used to be two big weak spots on both sides. Now it is quite a bit stronger on the overall turret. Yeah, essentially, the T95E6 got a massive overall on the armor department, and it's quite a bit better than it used to be. And when you add that to the fact that the gun itself has not changed at all, still featuring over 3,000 damage per minute with calibrated shells, still featuring really good levels of heat pen at 373 mils, decent accuracy, and pretty solid mobility, I think the E6 quite easily is just the best heavy at this point if you know what you're doing in it. So let's actually see what the T95E6 can do on an actual game. So here we are, Falls Creek, and what do we have up against us? An FE4202 and a T92E1 in terms of mobility. Now, I was going to go towards the medium flank, but because this E4 and 60 TP are basically boxing me in, and because my TVP is not pushing it to the medium flank at all, I'm actually going to make my way over towards heavy. Now, the nice thing about these 6 is because you feature really good pen values, you're not forced to go to the medium flank. I mean, this gun is really good either position you take it in. Now, unfortunately, the camo values are not insane on this tank. The Chieftain Mark 6 actually features the best camo for a heavy, believe it or not. This tank, it's alright in the camo department. Oh, great. Of course, our TVP... Okay, we're good. We are good. I was about to say, of course our TVP gets a free crossing, and then I try to poke and there's a Yag staring at me, but that's just my classic Blitz luck, right? We get a nice shell into the enemy convoy, and we can already see that fantastic level of damage per minute that this vehicle does carry. We do get the clear onto the enemy there, and of course, I just realized the tank that shot me was indeed an enemy T92E1. Of course, it had to be the highest alpha tank on their team. That sucks at least a little bit. Well, trying to think of exactly what I want to do here. Really? Okay. It's always those shells that are the ones impressing me. And what's really funny is I can't even shoot the 100 because the Yag's sitting there as well. So literally I just lost 700 health from a snapshot from a tank that shouldn't have hit that. But oh well. We do get a nice shell into the 100 once, and we're going to put on our adrenaline so we can pump out some more shells into his tank. And with that 370 mils of heat, I can just keep shooting this player over and over. E100 shot as well, so I can just ignore that E100 and start aiming it on the enemy Yag. We got one easy pen into the Yag. We're up to 2,200 damage already, which is pretty good. Obviously, being a heavy tank does have its own set of advantages because we can, you know, even still tank a shot from this enemy Yag if we had to. We also have the E5 over here, which we get a nice shell into. It's not a good roll, only 280, but it pens a pen. We also reload this player in the E5, so we can pen him in the lower plate again, but this is not good. This is actually quite bad. Why this E4 sucks so much and really just can't help me is pretty impressive, to be entirely honest, and it puts me in an absolutely terrible spot. So what am I going to do right now? Well, I'm going to try and leave. I'm going to load in a heat shell on the E5, and we're going to push down low. And of course, E5 is going to try and focus me again, but what a surprise, right? We're just going to push off to the side of this player. And we have, oh, there's the 92E1. At the end of the day, I can't really say that I've done anything wrong in this battle. I just got gifted the wrong team. Well, we're going to aim it on the 92E1 again. Another 404 damage shell straight into his vehicle. And at this point, obviously, I'm going to die. But we took a full health T92E1, brought him down to 360 health. And not only that, we bled the enemy E5, we bled the E100, we bled the Jagdpanzer. Unfortunately, my team sucked. I mean, we did 5,200 damage. I don't know what more my team wanted me to do, but okay. That's classic Blitz for you, right? What we can see is just why the E6 is such a capable vehicle. With the level of mobility it features, you can quite easily make your way wherever you need to go. And what I love is that even if I am forced to play it on the heavy side, it still does a really good job on the heavy flank. Wow, our E4 did a whopping 400 damage. Oh, well, his stats make sense. Ooh, we got a really, really good team here, ladies and gentlemen. A really good team. Wow. Our TVP was the major reason why we lost that battle, though. If the TVP had gone to medium flank, I would have supported him. And not only that, but all the TVP had to do was not YOLO out in the open in front of a Conway, E100, and Jagdpanzer. And we probably would have been fine, at least a little bit longer. But when you lose your only mobile tank right at the beginning of the battle, and then you have the rest of your team just kind of die around you, then, oh well. But at least these six did a pretty good job. If I'm going to get a loss, I'm going to try and farm as much as I can. And in that game, I farmed a boatload. It's a little unfortunate that my 60 TP pushed in such an awful spot, because if he had been able to kill the one-shot E100 on the enemy team, then I would have been able to probably clear the Yag, and that might have actually been a winnable game, but unfortunately, it looks like he got just absolutely obliterated by everybody on the enemy team. So this game, we can see, once again, teams not going the way I want them to. This is a mobile tank, and, I mean, mobility is always going to be a winning feature of any vehicle, but it's unfortunate when you have that mobility, and then your team forces you to play it in a spot where you can't really use it, right? Because we are on the heavy side of Faust. And Faust is, well, it's a decent map for, you know, tanks like this, but unfortunately, the problem is you can't really use much mobility when we're on the position of heavy side. But we can see that the enemy team appears to not be going this way. We have the enemy Yag Tiger, who's being absolutely rushed right now. And as much as I want to shoot that Yag Tiger, it's just not worth it. Bro's already dead. Alright, well, let's keep on going. There's the enemy Hori. Let's aim it on his tank, and easy heat shell. Hori misses me. Tried to do the classic 40%er snap, but did not get it off. I'll take it. 300 damage is, it's free damage to me, right? We got the enemy FE4202 and BZ75 all the way on the other side of the map. We can see the good accuracy of this tank as well, getting an easy shell right into the enemy 4202. And what else do we have going on? Well, we've got the, let's see if just anybody tries crossing here. I guess we'll find out, right? The SU got absolutely bled out. We have the BZ. Oh, wow, that shell, that was a pretty impressive one there. That was pretty impressive. Well, let's keep our adrenaline cooking, and bonk, there you go, 356 damage shell into you. We have the enemy Rinoceronte off to the side, and, okay, so we can see what's going on here, and I think the best play to make, at least as of right now, is to help out this Karo. Now, we do have that Hori, who, really, well, that Hori would have been dead right now, but classic RNG says otherwise. Oh, well. I'm going to move up and help out this Karo to the most of my abilities. Let's see, is that Rhino still sitting right here? He is. We get a nice 449 damage shell into him. And what I'm hoping is that, yes, my Karo starts pushing off to the side of the Rhino. Now the Rhino is going to be distracted on him, which means I can get a pen into the Rhino. Just like that, he's down to 400 health. And with the great level of DPM that this vehicle does feature, we're going to miss the shell in the dirt. Unfortunate. It doesn't really matter too much, though. I'm just going to push him and should be able to take him out as long as my Karo supports me here. And I'm going to wait at least a little bit for my Karo to move in. But let's see. There you are. And nice 401. Alright. And we reload. Really? Yeah, you're welcome, Karo. You're welcome. Not only do you get the clear after I bleed 800 health, but then... Bruh. Oh, well. I didn't think that Rhino was going to push out. I don't usually see people that say, gee, I'm about to die and let me YOLO out into the open. But oh well, we still have 1200 health left, and this is going to be a win, so it's not that big of a deal. I just wish I didn't bleed a little bit more of my HP to that player there. So we can see the E100's getting rushed by, the 3 tanks on the enemy team there, and I'm not too worried about that. We're just going to cut safely wide, and then we're going to get the clear right into the Chieftain, like so. There you go, easy shot. Then we're going to reload again, and we do have the 4202 all the way up top, but I'm not too worried about that player just yet. We get a nice shell into the enemy BZ. 4202 is trying to focus me, which I don't really care about, and we load in another shell into the enemy BZ, and he's dead. So, yeah, we obviously are going to win this game. We've already dealt 3,000 damage, a great example of the level of DPM this vehicle, again, features, and there you go. Nice 410 shell into the enemy FE4202. That's all pretty good stuff. We may only have 800 health, and the 4202 may have a bit more, but in return, we have a lot more damage per shot. And not only do we have more damage per shot, but we also have HE, because this 4202 is showing me his entire rear. So, there you go, 538 shell right into his tank. Not exactly sure what this 4202's big brain plan is, but hey, you want to fight me hull down, let's go. I will fight you anywhere you want to go. And unfortunately miss an easy shot, but I'm not too worried about that. Let's keep on going. Clear 4202, how you doing? There you go, 346. And let's see what we can do here. And alright, perfect. And now I just wait for my E3. Hello, good sir. What are you doing? Have fun with the E3. Yeah, it's not so fun now. The hash shell he fired rolled really high on me, which was not ideal, so I figured really the best course of action was just to wait. Let's see. 4202 is, well, not doing the best job. I'm just gonna wait here. There's no point to move when I have the E3 who's just rolling in on his side. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I get spotted, but he doesn't. Oh well. Doesn't matter. The E3 gets the clear, and that's really all I needed to do, was hold him off so that our E3 could indeed get the clear. So, that's fine. At the end of the day, we got another victory. Well, one victory at least today, and we did 4,400 damage. So the E6 is honestly just a beast, if you ask me. The level of DPM, the level of mobility, and the armor now being buffed means that when you're using gun depression, you can get a lot more bounces than you used to. This has always been one of my favorite tier 10s. I'm not exactly sure what my stats are on this account. Yeah, they're a bit lower, but that's because I have played so many games in it over the years. But E6, I can tell you that it's one of the most capable tier 10s. So if you want to play a beast, keep your eyes out for this vehicle. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.